and welcome, my name is Luca. This is just a quick explanation because this video was actually filmed months ago, but I lost the SD card that the footage was on and I recently found it and I was like, well, I might as well still edit the video. So that's what you're going to watch. It's a book haul. If you have seen my other videos, you might recognize a few of these books because I have already talked about, I think, 4 of them, but the rest will be new. So I hope you still enjoy this video. That's it. Okay. Let's address the elephant in the room, and that's the fact that yesterday I was having a moment and I cut the front pieces of my hair by myself with kitchen scissors. And it's safe to say that I will not be doing that again, but that's why the front pieces of my hair look wild. They may not look wild to you, they look horrible to me because this was not what I planned to do. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk books. I have a stack of 15 books that I've accumulated, and we are talking about a really short time. So I need to address buying books is a sickness, it's a disease, it's not a hobby, and someone should stop me. But also, if someone tries to stop me, I will probably murder them. If my mum would come up to me and be like, Luca, no more books, I would probably bite her head off. So, anyways, I have 15 books here. Romance is the genre I read the most, so I think most of them are romance, a few of them are literary fiction, and I think there's like 1 or 2 young adult books. The first book is called Swing in the Dark by Thomas Cietrowski. This is a book I picked up because I read Lie With Me by Philippe Besson, and I loved that book. I thought it was so beautiful, and people said, well, not people, actually, the internet, Goodreads said that if I enjoyed that one, I would enjoy this one as well, because just like the other book, it's also about 2 young boys falling in love in a time where you're not allowed to be gay. And I think in this book, it takes place in Poland, and the 2 boys fall in love over the summer when they both go to agricultural camp. I would not know what that means. It says that they spent the dreamlike summer falling in love, and I think afterwards it starts to go south and things start to fall apart. But if people tell me that this book is similar to Lie With Me by Philippe Besson, I will read it because I loved that book and it broke my heart, and I am ready to feel those things again. So that's the first one. The second book is called Mile High by Liz Tomford. I was so excited to get this book because I have heard people rave about this series. However, after I received the book, both Destiny and Sarah said that they both DNF'd this book and hated it. So now I'm just curious to see for myself. It's a hockey romance. It's between a player on the team and a flight attendant on the team's private plane. I think it's enemies to lovers, which is not my favorite trope. However, I am willing to give it a try because I do love hockey romances, and I've heard enough people rave about this that I'm willing to give it a try anyways. But like I said, Sarah and Destiny both said that they didn't like the guy in this book, so I'm curious to see for myself. I really hope I do like it because it's also like it's not a tiny book, so finishing this does take time, and it would be just such a shame if I didn't like it. So the next book is called Brutes by Dis Tate. I'm not gonna lie, I judged a book by its cover with this one because look at this. This is beautiful. I think it's somewhat of a mystery because it takes place in Florida, and it says something about a gang of 13-year-old girls, and 13-year-old girls are absolutely terrifying. I think one of them goes missing, and it says what they uncover will continue to haunt them for the rest of their lives. So this sounds kind of mystery, horror, thriller, I don't know, which is really not what I expected when I bought this. Also, it has pretty low ratings on Goodreads, but at the same time, that's just people's opinion, so I'm going to read it and see for myself. However, I should have read something about the book before I bought this, but the cover was just so pretty. So this is not the kind of book I usually read, but I already own it, and so I'm going to read it and we'll see if I like it. Okay, the next one I'm pretty pissed about because I bought this secondhand through Amazon and they sent me the wrong cover, but when I tried to send it back, it was pretty much impossible. Either I'm stupid or it was impossible. But that's this book. And I hate this cover, and I will not be reading this copy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this copy, but I will not be reading it. I will be getting my hands on the discreet cover. This is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I don't even want to hold up this cover, like But I'm really excited to see, and I think it's a college romance, and it says, they say first loves last forever, what about the second one? And then on the back it says, they say first love lasts forever, and that's exactly what I'm afraid of. So I think this is a second chance romance, and I've heard that the people in this book have like a lot of trauma, so all of that sounds interesting, but I don't know what I'm going to do because I am pissed. I am pissed about this cover. I do not want this cover. However, it's in really good condition. It's like completely new. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. The next book is called The Selfless Act of Breathing by J.J. Bola. Again, it was a pretty cover. Like, I don't know what, I was just sucker for the pink covers this time. This book takes place in London and America because I think this is about a teacher who moves from London to America after he suffers a devastating loss. And on the back it also says, I knew from the opening that this book was going to break my heart. Breathless and gripping. That sounds good. I actually haven't heard anything anywhere about this book. I just saw it on Amazon and I don't know. I think I was in a money spending mood. Okay, the next one I am so excited for. It's called Talking at Night by Claire what was it? Daverley. And for one, look at this cover. This is a romance book. I don't know who's in charge of romance covers, but this is good. This is really good. I saw this on Instagram exactly one time, and I looked at the cover, I read the back, and that was all it took. I wanted this immediately, and then I think a week later or something I was in Berlin with my friends and I saw this in a bookstore and I picked it up because I was so excited. It follows Will and Rosie, and what I can conduct from the back is the fact that it's brother's best friend, childhood friends to lovers, second chance romance. He is wild and unpredictable and she's an overthinking girl, and I am so excited. It says, what do you do when the one person you should forget is the one you just can't let go? Also, the simplicity of this cover, talking at night, and then the cornflakes ball, and I immediately think that they're sharing a cornflakes ball in the middle of the night in the kitchen. I don't know why, maybe because it's 2 spoons, but I'm so excited for this one. So this might be my next read and I really hope it does not disappoint. The next book is called Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. This is the first book in a series, and I think it's a basketball romance series, if I'm not wrong. I've never read a basketball romance, so I'm excited. However, I thought this was going to be much like smaller than it actually is. This is it's how many pages is this? This is 500 pages. From what I've heard about this, I feel like the characters have a lot of trauma, and people said that this book made them cry multiple times, and also I think the characters had a one-night stand, or maybe not even a one-night stand actually, but just a really good connection. They couldn't be together because it was a forbidden romance or something, and then they reconnect. So I think it's a second chance romance, forbidden romance, and I'm also sensing an abusive relationship on the girl's side. I haven't read it, but I've actually had this pre-ordered for a while because I wanted to read this, and then I saw that they were coming out with these discreet covers because the other ones have people on the front. So I pre-ordered it because I've heard people say that this book was criminally underrated. So I'm excited to try it. The next book is where my book buying addiction really took over because I bought Dear Dolly by Dolly Alderton. I have not read Everything I Know About Love yet. However, I do have the book. I lent it to a friend, so I don't have it here, but I do have it. I haven't read it, so I don't know if I like her writing. I don't know if I enjoy them. I don't know if I even want to read this one because I want to read the other one first. But I was I was walking through Waterstones with a friend of mine from Switzerland because she came to visit me and we both love reading, so we were just hanging out in Waterstones. I saw this. Again, I have not read the first one. I saw this, I saw the author, and I was like, I must have this. Why? I don't know. I don't know if I even like this author, but I had to have this, so I bought this. However, I do think I will like it because I have heard nothing but good things about her other book, and I've also heard people say that they're like great books to read if you're struggling with becoming an adult woman, and what person in their 20s would not be intrigued by that? So I bought it. I really didn't have to. I should have read the other one first, but like I said, it's a sickness, it's a disease. and I can't help myself. The next book is called I Fell in Love with Hope by Luca, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I bought this in the same Waterstones as the other one, and I was really happy with this because I saw this. It was on sale. I knew that I recognized it from somewhere, I think Instagram. I picked it up, I took it with me, I walked around with it for like 2.5 hours throughout the store. And then when I decided to buy it and then I walked to the register, the guy said that he just removed all the discount stickers and put them back on the shelves. So it was not on sale anymore. But since mine still had the discount sticker, mine was still on sale. So I was so happy with that because he said, I put them back like 2 hours ago, so I don't know how you still have that one. So I was so happy because I think I picked it up like 2 seconds before he removed all the discount stickers. It's about a group of terminally ill patients in the hospital. I think they're all children. I think this is a young adult book. It's a love story between patients in the hospital, and that feels like heartbreak because that setting, painting that picture, I'm so excited for the heartbreak. Okay, my SD card was full, so I had to change it. I also don't know where we left off exactly, but I'm just going to talk about the next book. The next book is called I Love You Too Much by Alicia Drake. I have heard absolutely nothing about this book. It does not have good ratings on Goodreads, but again, just people's opinions. I picked this up in a secondhand bookstore. The title and the cover really spoke to me because I don't know if you can see this, but this is like a really, I don't know, a really old book, and the cover is beautiful. I think it's about a young boy in Paris. I think this is a coming of age story and kind of figuring out the cruelness of the world. It just sounded really interesting to me, and even if I'm not going to enjoy this, I love the cover, and it was really cheap. I think it was like €1.40 or something. So I'm just really excited to have this in my room because look how pretty. The next book is a book that combines several chapters of like little stories from characters from other books. It's called 7 Sleepless Nights. It's by Chloe Walsh, and the only reason I bought this is because after I finished all 4 of the Boys of Torment books in the series, I was so utterly heartbroken that I didn't have new chapters of these characters anymore. So I bought this book. I paid €13 for this, and definitely not the entire book is about the characters from the Boys of Torment series. I think they get like 5 or 6 short chapters. So when I tell you we got crumbs, we got crumbs. However, I still enjoyed it. But this was kind of a waste of my money. However, I was so obsessed with that entire universe, I was just not ready to say goodbye. So I bought these. And I have no idea about all the other characters that are mentioned in this book. I have absolutely no idea. The next book is called All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I, again, bought this in a secondhand shop for like less than €2. I'm not gonna lie, I have absolutely no idea what this is about. The only thing I know is that it takes place in the Second World War. And I also know that this has like 1.5 million reviews on Goodreads, and it still has like a 4.32 out of 5 stars, so that's really good. So this has been very well received. To be honest, I don't think I'm going to read this anytime soon because I feel like it's quite difficult and quite long, and I think that I'm going to need every single cell inside of my brain to understand this. Like most of the times I'm not in the mood for that, but I am really excited that I found this because whenever I will be in the mood, I can pick this up. Okay, the next book is again such a pretty cover, and I'm so excited to read this. It's called Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. Curtis Sittenfeld. And I saw this on Instagram everywhere for like a few weeks, and then afterwards it just completely disappeared. I don't really understand if it's a romance or a literary fiction. I do think, or I hope at least, that there's a subplot of romance, because if there's not, I'm going to be pissed. I just want to read romance. I bought this when I was in London, and when I went to pay for the book, the cashier said that she was reading it and that she really enjoyed it. That was really funny, so I'm really excited to read this. I'm kind of confused. The title is romantic comedy, but on the inside it says this is not a romantic comedy, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited to find out. The next book is called What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther, which is the same author as The Summer of Broken Rules, which I read that book last year and I loved it, and I actually also already read this one. I think I read it as soon as I got it in the mail because I was just in the mood for a quick light-hearted young adult romance. This takes place at a boarding school. It's full of Taylor Swift references, so I had a lot of fun with that. And I think it's, yeah, it was second chance romance. It was just quick, fun read. Okay, then we have the last book of this book haul, and I bought this book because of one quote on Instagram. One quote, that was all it took. I went on the hunt and I got this book. It's called On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. The quote I read on Instagram was, "I love you more than I remember you." And that single sentence broke my heart, and I immediately wanted to read this book, so I went on the hunt and I found this. It's completely new and I got it for like a few euros. I don't know what this is about. I know that Jack Edwards raves about this book and so many people loved it. It's also quite short, so I'm really excited to read this, and that's the last book of this book haul. This is the entire stack. 15 books, and I'm so excited to read all of them. However, I probably won't be getting to them anytime soon because I think I have over 100 books on my physical TBR. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me showing you all the books I spend all of my money on. Again, I'm planning other videos, so stay tuned for those, and I think that's it. So you can like and subscribe if you want to, and I will hopefully see you in the next video very soon. Bye!